Well, welcome to the Nicole Show. We are here with Rachel Benson, and she's from the West Suburban YMCA. She's a personal trainer, and she is ready to kick my butt. And we're going to discuss some really good tips for moms, women on the go, maybe students, or anyone who wants to step up their game and be really successful within the world of fitness. So, welcome, Rachel.
Thank you.
Thank you for being a part of this.
Of course.
We're going to focus on women, maybe a little bit of men and children, but we want to get to that core audience of where the women have that struggle with getting the midsection off after delivering their children, and maybe if they're just in a rut and they just need some motivation. So what do you have for us today?
Okay, so I've put together a 20-minute workout, okay? And what I want you to do is focus on not having this be something that's going to completely take over your life, but small changes that you can make. So,
Sounds fair.
the most important things are going to be cardio,
Okay,
strength training,
I can do that.
and nutrition.
Okay.
Okay, so those are the three most important things. And for cardio, what I really want you to focus on to get in the maximum amount of exercise into your workout in a short amount of time, you're going to want to do interval training.
So what is that? Because some viewers aren't familiar with what that is. Is it up and down? Is it consistent?
Interval training is a great way to get in kind of the bang for your buck in a workout. So instead of going the same pace for, let's say, a 30-minute workout, which is the American Heart Association's recommended time for aerobic exercise, what you want to do is increase and decrease your speed in varying rates.
So I'm going to be running up a hill kind of like up and down, up and down.
Absolutely.
That's that button you see on a lot of the cardio machines. That's the interval.
Yep.
Okay.
And so you can do this yourself. You can set it on the machine, or you can also do it manually. It also keeps the exercise that you're doing more interesting. Because if you're constantly having to think about what you're doing, go up and down with the levels, increase your intensity, decrease resting rates, you're going to get a lot less bored than you would if you're just doing the same thing. Also, intensity interval training is going to help you ramp up your metabolism. And when you're transitioning from the increased intensity phase to the rest phase, your metabolism, the calorie burn, heart rate stays. So instead of just being one straight line, it's going like this, and then eventually it'll just stay up here. So you also increase your calorie burn for after the exercise as well.
So the key takeaway is to do the intervals because it's going to burn more calories in a less amount of time.
Absolutely.
I'm happy with that.
And it doesn't take, and it takes a lot less time as well.
Okay.
So I put together 2 different workouts.
All right.
Okay. We can go over a couple of these different things to show you how to tone those areas that you really want to work on. Mainly glutes, right back here, abdominals, the core, all the way around, upper body for nice, strong arms and posture, and then you really want nice, strong legs to help get you through whatever it is you're doing throughout the day.
Well, awesome. We're going to take a quick break, Rachel, and we're going to come back and we're going to go over a few of those exercises one-on-one with Rachel. She's going to give us some good examples. Be right back.
Every child is curious.
George, look what I found.
Turn their curiosity into a lifelong love of learning. Create a curious reader.
This is super bedtime reading.
Share a book together today. Visit read.gov.
Tommy's a really good kid. My Tommy would never even think about trying alcohol. Isn't that right, sweetie?
Real kids are curious about alcohol. 40% try it by the 8th grade. Talk early, talk often, get others involved.
So the first thing I want to show you guys is a variation of a squat that can be modified for if you're just starting out or you have some sort of maybe injury, you need to take it a little bit slower initially, and a little bit of a challenge for those of you who may be looking to ramp it up a little more. So first off, I'm going to show you a squat. What you're going to want to do is have your feet shoulder width apart, shoulders facing forward, and you want to drive the weight down through your heels, not your toes. That's a safe way to protect your knees. Weight drives down through your heel, your arms will naturally come out into the front and slowly return. If your knees are an issue, just bend down to where it's comfortable for a modified squat. To make it a little bit more challenging, work on the strength. You can grab a small weight, carry it right around your midsection, and squat. This is a great exercise. It's going to target your glutes, core, and quads. Excellent for strength. Next up, I'm going to show you how to make it a little more challenging, and that's by adding a plyometric, which is called a dynamic exercise. So you're adding a little speed and explosion. So here's our regular squat, and now you're just going to add a little jump to it for the jump squat. So you're going to start in a squat, get your hands going for momentum, jump up, and land in a squat. All right? So just like with the squat, you want to focus on weight going down through your heels. I'll show you that one more time. You're going to squat, jump up, and land in a squat. And you're gonna wanna start off nice and gentle, but as you get comfortable with the exercise, you can really ramp it up, get your heart rate going. Next up, I'm gonna show you an exercise that'll target more than one body part at once. So for those of you who are really busy, you're gonna wanna make sure you're getting the most out of your workout. Next up, it's called the plie squat. And a plie squat, it's kind of like if you ever took ballet. You're gonna turn out, okay? Turn your feet out. That's gonna help you target that tough to reach inner thigh area, okay? So this exercise, you're gonna hold the weight. I've got an 8-pounder here. You can use a 5, 8, 10, depending on where you're at. You're gonna hold it comfortably right here between the thighs. You wanna bend, keeping your knees soft. And you really wanna bend at the knees, not at the waist. So I'm not bending forward, straight down. You're gonna raise the weight up, bring it behind the head for a tricep bend. Plie squat, raise, tricep bend. I'm gonna show you that from the side too, just to make sure you're doing it properly, because you really wanna make sure you're targeting right back here in the tricep. So notice how I'm not bending forward at the hips, at the knee, shoulder raise, tricep. As you get comfortable, you can increase speed. You always wanna make sure your elbows stay right by your ears. Never split out to the side. Keep them nice and tight. It's a great one, targeting all those tough to reach areas. Next up, I'm gonna show you how to target a very effective exercise for the abdominals. So the abdominals is what we call the core. It's a muscle, it's one muscle that actually wraps around like a corset, all right? So we really wanna train all angles. So what I'm gonna do is show you an exercise that targets right up here in the top, as well as that difficult to work lower abdominal region. So what you're gonna do is start with your feet on the ground, head relaxed. What you can do is, I'm gonna show you the leg lift first, and then we'll show you how to make it a little harder. So for a leg lift, you can put your hands right under your lower back for support. You never want your back to arch. You wanna keep it as flat as you can against the mat comfortably. You wanna bring your legs straight up, and then you can slowly lower to the ground as far as you can, and slowly return. For some of you, that may look a little different. You can always bend your knee, come down as far as you can comfortably, and return. You just wanna make sure you're taking care of that lower back. To make this a little harder, we're gonna add a crunch. Hands are on either side of your head. What you're gonna do is crunch, lower, raise, and return. As you can see, the shaking, this is a tough one. It's excellent and a great challenge for those of you who are working on a stronger abs. So, combine those three together, and you're sure to get all those difficult to reach areas like glutes, abdominals, inner thigh, quads, right back here, that fun area we all love, the tricep.
G morning, sunshine. Text me back. LUV, love you. JK. Holla back. Holla back.
Are you with your friends? That's lame.
We're in a huge fight right now. XO.
What'd you dream
Is this
about?
something I
Me?
did? Are you on your way to the
I'm
mall?
lonely.
Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
Do you like this top? So gay.
Really?
Yeah, it's totally gay.
You know, you really shouldn't say that. What if every time something was bad, everybody said, oh, that's so girl wearing a skirt as a top?
Oh, you are.
Those are cute jeans, though. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
Well, welcome back. And didn't Rachel do a fantastic job on the segments for a little workout? Yes, yes, yes. Well, Rachel, let's talk nutrition. It's really important to encompass a good diet along with weight training and cardio, because a lot of people think, hey, I'll just go to the gym, work out, and I can continue to eat the way I do. Why is that not a good idea?
Unfortunately,
you can exercise all day, and if what you're putting into your body isn't taking care of your body and working within the exercise that you're already doing, it's not going to be effective. So diet and nutrition is really a huge part of the battle, especially for weight loss, because what you want to do is make sure that the food that you're taking into your body is fueling you for your day, whatever that may be, and especially fueling you for your workout. Because if you're not taking in proper nutrition, you're not going to have as much energy for your workout, which is what we want, right?
Exactly, but for us, proper nutrition is different for everybody. We talk about like the Strive for 5 and all those good, quirky things that are out there, but what's the most important thing that we could put into our body every day on a regular basis?
Sure. So what you always want to make sure is that you have an equal balance between carbohydrates, healthy fats, and lean protein, as well as, of course, 3 to 5 servings of vegetables and fruits per day at a minimum. So if you can get more than that, that would be great. But what's great is that you can sneak in all these healthy foods within a regular diet that doesn't feel like a diet. Right?
And that's what we want.
That's what we want. No one wants to feel like they're having to modify their life or be stringent or not enjoy food, because that's part of what life is all about, is enjoying food.
Absolutely.
With your family, your friends, and people that you love.
I agree.
So what I basically like to talk about are the way that you can include all of these things in together. So for example, I put together just some ideas, sample breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks.
And breakfast is the most important meal of the day, they say. Is that true?
It's true, because if you think about it logically. So what I try to do is I tell my clients, when do you need the most energy?
Makes sense.
You need the most energy to get
wake
through your day when you first wake up. That's where you need the most fuel, which is typically going to be grains and carbohydrates, right? Which transfer quickly into energy that you need throughout your day.
But a lot of people skip it, and I don't know why. I wake up starving every single morning because I don't eat late at night.
Yeah.
So I'm always like so hungry.
And that's kind of how we want it to be. We
Right.
want your metabolism going even while you're sleeping. So what you want to do is fuel up in the morning when you really need it, and then lighten up as the day goes on. Because if you think about it, as you're going to bed, we don't really need a huge big meal before dinner, right? Because we're just going to go to sleep. And what happens when you sleep is all that extra calories that you may have consumed during dinner
sitting in the spots that you want.
sits in your body and typically turns into fat or isn't burned off the way that it would be if you had a lighter dinner. So you also want to make sure that your metabolism keeps going throughout the day. So that's basically going to be a lot of more grazing. So we're kind of in this country more accustomed to 3 square meals.
Right.
But I encourage my clients to really use the grazing technique, which is a nice healthy breakfast, mid-morning snack, lunch, mid-evening snack, or before dinner snack, and then dinner.
So is it really true that if I eat smaller meals throughout the day that it's better for me? Because I feel really sluggish after a big solid meal like dinner.
Yeah.
If you have
And in the end, if you're taking in the right amount of calories that your body needs and hoping to, get in enough exercise, the timing of your meals is not going to make or break your diet. So if you miss a mid-morning snack, don't freak out.
If you miss a snack, you can miss a snack.
Yeah. Because I can imagine if you're a mom and you're shuttling your kids to school and you're picking them up at dance, it's going to be really hard to make sure you're having all those snacks at the right time. So really you just want to focus on smaller, more frequent meals that are calorie rich, which means that they're the calories that your body can actually use. So you want to be smart about calories.
Right.
So for example, a high protein snack that would be, let's say for example, some vegetables, so like baby carrots, red pepper, something that's portable you can take with you, and something that has protein, like I don't know, a piece of like a whole grain cracker with some low-fat peanut butter, for example.
Yeah, like we do peanut butter and celery.
Yeah.
That's a great combination.
Exactly. So that's going to be, instead of, let's say, for example, like chips or cookies, which are calories that are just empty. They're
Yeah.
empty calories that aren't fueling your body. You really want food that's going to fuel you throughout your day so that you can do what you need to do.
It's a waste of food, waste of calories. You might as well burn it or put it in a position where it can burn quickly and more effectively.
And then when you do indulge in something that's really, really indulgent or really special, it's a special occasion instead of just some daily thing that you have in your diet.
And something that I talk about often with different people we have on the show, nutrition-based, is to retrain your taste buds.
Oh, absolutely. That's huge.
I've done that. It's hard. It is
Good
really
for
hard,
you.
especially when you've had children and you crave all these crazy things and things that aren't so good for you often. I have to retrain my mind. I think your mind is the most powerful thing.
Yeah, it's hugely psychological.
Yeah.
And what I tell my clients is, for example, a lot of my clients have trouble with evening eating or after dinner snacking.
Yeah.
So I tell my clients, once dinner is over, give yourself a signifier that you're done eating for the day. For For some people, that's even as simple as turning the light off in the kitchen. We're done with the kitchen.
That's not a bad idea.
Brushing your teeth, chewing gum,
Yeah.
having a cup of tea. Tea can be a really nice, soothing after-dinner ritual that's kind of getting you prepared for bedtime. And that signifies that I'm done eating. My body doesn't really need any more fuel.
Right.
So I'm done.
It's almost like putting yourself on a routine like you do for your children, like bath, story time, bedtime. So you have to do the same thing when it comes to food.
And
Shut down.
It really helps to plan
Shut
your
it off.
meals. Yeah, it helps to plan your meals in advance, which I realize for most people is tough.
hard,
It's
yeah.
really tough. As much as you can, planning your meals in advance.
Yeah.
I also really recommend keeping a food journal, even if it's for just a couple days, so that you can start tracking what it is that you're eating,
Yes.
when you're eating, and whether or not you're eating because you're really hungry,
Right.
or because you're stressed,
Right.
or bored, or emotional,
Yeah.
or exhausted.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And there are really cool ways to do that. You can do that with pen and paper. You can also do it on your iPhone if you have a smartphone, or on your computer. There are different calorie trackers. which
I
love.
actually did that. I actually sat down with a journal for about 6 to 7 days.
Oh, wow.
It was almost a
Good
full
for
week.
you.
I think it was about a week. And I realized, wow, I really didn't need to eat that or eat that. And it really made me think, okay, if I'm writing it down, I'm actually being held accountable to myself.
Yeah.
And it actually helped me lose a lot of weight after my third child.
Yeah.
So I was very happy with that. And you're right.
And I love that because it also helps you find the connection between how you're feeling. I
Yeah.
even have my clients go a little bit further and say, what am I eating? What time is it? And what am I feeling right now?
Oh, I never thought of that.
Oh yeah, I make them do that because
That's
it's
nice.
like it's 3 o'clock. I'm at work. I'm stressed out and exhausted. I'm gonna go to the vending machine. Wait a second. What do I really need?
Right.
Maybe I need a mental minute to sit back and plan the rest of my evening. Maybe I need to, leave work early and go get a good workout in. Have a protein-rich snack. What do I really need right now? Instead of just mindlessly kind of filling ourselves up with food
Junk.
that's not really, junk.
Yeah. All right, so switching gears, we talked about nutrition and why it's really important. So, this happens to me often. I'm in the gym and I really don't feel like doing that workout. How do I get past that? That stubbornness that I'm saying to my mind, I don't feel like working out today.
Just don't want to do it.
But I know I need to.
Yeah.
This happened a couple days ago and I'm stuck. I just kept pushing through and I'm like, well, am I exhausted? I kept thinking all excuses. Am I not feeling
I
well?
have a tip. So here's what I wrote. And I really utilize this. So I have this little tip sheet that I give to many of my clients. If you're having trouble getting motivated, say to yourself, I'll just do a 5-minute workout.
Okay.
Right? So even if you're having trouble getting to the gym, I'm just gonna go for 5 minutes. I'll just do 5 minutes.
That's fair.
Right? It's not intimidating.
Right.
It's low stress. And the odds are, even if you just do 5 minutes, you're gonna do more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, if you're gonna get all sweaty and yucky,
right,
you're gonna do more than
You're
that.
gonna wanna get it in. So, and what I also tell my clients is to always be prepared. So if you always have your gym bag in your car,
Okay.
and let's say you're on the way home from work,
Yeah.
there's no excuse not to go to the gym. You have all your stuff. You don't have to go home
There you go.
first, sit on the couch, and then your show's on. And then if you're at the gym, I always recommend doing that 5-minute trick, listening to really great music,
Yeah,
which is huge.
I got pumped up by Jay-Z the other day.
Yeah.
I was listening to his music and I was just like, wow, I'm so inspired just to
Yeah.
go to that next level.
Music can help
Yeah.
the intensity of your workout and the endurance of your workout. So you can actually go longer if you have a great song on.
Yeah, I actually put on repeat and I was on the cardio machine just going and going and going. Before I know it, I'm on there for 20 minutes
Yeah.
and I didn't
And
say,
it's
well,
fun.
when am I
It's
gonna
low
take a break?
stress. It's fun.
Yeah.
I also recommend having a buddy. Buddies are huge.
Yeah, those are
because
nice.
when someone else is holding you accountable and helping you along, it's a lot easier to get into your workout.
How about when you're working beside your gal pal, and she's like pushing it to the next level. She's like a higher interval. She's on the treadmill.
Sweating,
She's running 3
yeah.
miles. I have a girlfriend like that. Her name is Gina. She works out
Oh, I know
tremendously.
Gina.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
always running on the treadmill. Like, how do you keep that intensity for such a long time?
Well, that's
and she
good
makes me
because-
want to do it.
Yeah, you get motivated.
Yeah.
But vice versa, you want to watch out for the friends who just want to stroll along and watch the Kardashians. Okay, you gotta make sure that you're also motivating your workout buddy as well.
That's true. That's true. All right, to wrap it up, we want to just bring it all home. We got nutrition, cardio, and strength training.
Yep.
We didn't talk about too much of the strength training. Is that really important?
It's super important because, like I was showing before in some of the workouts, strength training the muscles is huge because lean muscle mass, right, is an efficient system in your body, right? So if you have more lean muscle, you become a more efficient fuel burning machine.
Makes sense.
Which is like our bodies are kind of like machines. They do so much for us. And if we create a body that has more lean muscle mass instead of fat, which isn't as productive,
Right.
you're more likely to burn more calories, feel more energized, feel stronger, have better posture, better bone density. It just goes
The list
on and on. Yeah.
So like it's really important to encompass weight training because it changes.
huge.
Doesn't it change the shape of your body?
It changes the
I
shape
feel
of your
that. I
body
feel like that.
because it's true. There's a huge myth out there that muscle weighs more than fat.
Yeah.
Your body is your body. A pound is a pound.
Okay.
The difference between muscle and fat is that muscle is like this. So let's say a pound of muscle versus a pound of fat, muscle is a whole lot smaller. So your weight won't change, right? Some of the most fittest women that I know are a lot heavier than they look because the inches are smaller. So the physical composition of their body has changed, but their weight hasn't changed. And
I can say that. I was noticing that. My body is changing. My muscles are getting more lean. I feel them, but I don't see it going down on the scale.
Yeah.
But my clothes are fitting better.
And isn't that what we want? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
most of my clients, they wouldn't care how much they weighed if they could fit into the outfits that they want and feel really confident and good. So that's what I always tell my clients, don't focus on the scale as much as how your body feels, how much energy you have, how it feels to be walking around. Let's say picking up your kid at the school, kid playground, running up the stairs, whatever it may be. Focus on those kind of internal cues rather than the weight on the scale.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Well, we want to thank Rachel.
You look great.
Thank you. I'm pushing towards that, and she's motivating me to get in the gym even more. Now, I'm going to push it from 3 days to hopefully 4 to 5, because that's what we want, and also to monitor more what I'm eating, and not eat as many carbs. I think that's my biggest drawback. I love
for
bread.
a lot of people.
Yeah, I love that bread. So we're going to work on that, and we're going to make a commitment, and hopefully within, I say 6 weeks, that's fair, I'm going to lose 10 pounds in a couple inches. That's my goal.
Okay.
That's it.
And what I always encourage all my clients to do, that sounds great, is to create what's called SMART goals. And all my clients will hear me saying this over and over. They'll probably make fun of me, but you want to have a SMART goal that's small, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time sensitive.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you can say, in 2012, I'm going to get fit.
Well, that's so broad.
That's a great goal, but that could mean so many different things.
Yeah.
So what I tell my clients to make daily or weekly goals that are measurable.
Right.
So, and I get really specific. So I have a client in particular who struggles with dinner because she has really big portions at dinner. And so she told me that her goal was to be better at dinner. I said, that's not good enough. You have to, I need a more specific and measurable goal.
Right.
So now she says, I'm going to use measuring cups for portion control and measure out my food and log it. And it's really helpful. It's really helpful because it's measurable, it's attainable, so that you feel really good about the progress that you're making instead of this long-term lofty goal that feels harder to reach.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Obtainable. Because if not, you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You're on the right track.
Well, we want to thank Rachel for being on with us today. And if you have any more questions, you can contact the West Suburban YMCA, request Rachel, and she'll help you get to that next goal. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Ever feel like you don't belong? Like you just don't fit in? Like life seems to be insane? I'll let you in on a little secret. All you have to do to make sense of it all is to find your rhythm. At school, with your friends, at home, in your life. Life takes courage, confidence, and character. Find your rhythm like me and join Girl Scouts today.
Hey there. Hi! I haven't seen you before. Yeah, I just moved here. I'm new. Wanna hang out or something? 'Cause I have a feeling we're gonna be best friends.
Things can get pretty ugly when you're bored. In an after-school program, you can find something way better to do.
You have an array of clients, a very big diversified portfolio. You can do anyone's hair.
Yes.
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 How important is that to you?
Very important. I myself, I'm Latina, so my hair is very difficult to do. So my clientele comes, from all over the world.
Now, how is it possible that you can do anyone's hair? I mean, a lot of the salon owners, they can only do one type of hair. How is it that you can encompass everything and get it looking great? Because she does my hair, so.
Well, they come here with different thin hair, thick hair, unmanageable, and
Now you do the cut style, and what other services do you provide?
I do everything. I do from haircuts, style, a wash and blow dry, color, keratin treatment, deep conditioning treatment, scalp treatment, everything.
So when a client comes in, what can they expect? I mean, they sit down in your chair and what do you do, a consultation with them, or?
Always sit down with a client and do 20 minutes to 30 minutes, whatever it takes, to really find out and get to know the client and see what they're looking for, so we can accomplish.
Well, that's really important because, I mean, not everyone's the same. I mean, when I walk in the door, I mean, I might not need what the next person, you know, the next woman or man had done. I might not need that specifically. Their hair might be a little more, you know, dry, or mine's a little more oily. So you sit down, take the time to go through what their needs are specific to their hair.
Exactly. I don't care if they've been here 20 times, we always have to go through a little consultation to make sure that we are doing our job.
That is awesome. Thank you so much, Millie, for everything.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me on your show.
Absolutely. Now, if you want to look fabulous like Millie's done my hair, come on down. She's located in Newton, and we will provide her website information for you so that you can contact her and look at all the services that she provides. She'll have you looking great in a very small amount of time. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Do you like this top? So gay.
Really?
Yeah, it's totally gay.
You know, you really shouldn't say that. What if every time something was bad, everybody said, oh, that's so girl wearing a skirt as a top?
Oh, you are.
Those are cute jeans, though. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
So, today we're going to talk about an awesome tip to make your face radiant and glowing. It's called bronzer, and for me, I don't leave out the house without it. Unless the kids are really crazy and I completely forgot. So, what I did, I found an awesome bronzer. It's called Too Faced, and it has several palettes of colors just kind of blended together. And for me, this will just liven up your face instantly. So you're going to take it, grab a nice blending brush, and kind of blend on the edges of your chin. Don't forget the sides. And just kind of gently sweep across your cheekbone. It's phenomenal. Don't forget your nose. And brush a little bit across your forehead. So a little trick that I discovered was to make an actual M. Just kind of make an M. To me, it's an upside down M. And just blend across. It looks like you were just sun-kissed and like you have an instant tan. Another makeup secret that I'm going to share with you, eyeshadow to your nose. It elongates your nose and it gives you just a little bit of form and shape. So you gently apply it to the edges of your nose and just a little bit on the tip. It actually shortens your nose if your nose is a little bit long. You take that and you just gently blend it. The little trick I learned when I used to do some modeling on the side when I was in high school. Voila! And you have a elongated nose. It gives you a little bit of shape.